Formed in New York City in 1981, Anthrax emerged as one of the pioneering forces in thrash metal, alongside groups like Metallica, Slayer, and Megadeth, who are sometimes collectively known as the Big Four. Over their 4-decade-plus career, they've sold millions of albums worldwide and earned multiple Grammy nominations. But beyond their musical achievements, Anthrax has some fascinating stories that showcase both the rebellious spirit and their ability to handle adversity with both humor and grace. From MTV bans to appearing on hit TV shows and even some run-ins with the law, these are some quirky tales that have helped shape the legend of Anthrax. During an interview with Metal Hammer, guitarist Scott Ian revealed that Anthrax's video for their 1985 single Madhouse was banned by MTV. The clip, which is pretty tame by today's standards, depicted people in straitjackets moshing around an abandoned mental hospital. MTV interpreted the video as being insensitive to those who suffer from mental illness. Ian recalled it was submitted to MTV, which was a bit of a long shot anyway for a band named Anthrax and playing the music we played. And MTV came back to us and very politely said, "We will never air this. You're banned from MTV because we feel that you were making fun of the mentally impaired." But Anthrax, rather than feeling disappointed, wore their rejection as a badge of honor, with Ian adding, "We were like, f*** MTV anyways, who needs this shit?" You have to remember this was before Headbangers Ball aired on MTV. In turn, the band's label tried to capitalize on the publicity and even put out a press release saying that the group was officially banned from MTV. If you guys are interested, I've done a whole video on the rise and fall of Headbangers Ball, the link is down below. But years later, when Headbangers Ball became a staple of MTV, they actually gave Anthrax a lot of publicity. They even ran a contest with the band in 1989. At the time, Anthrax was promoting their gold-selling record State of Euphoria, and as part of the tour, to support the record, Anthrax was touring with Exodus and Halloween. This leg of the tour was even sponsored by MTV and was named the Headbangers Ball Tour. To promote the trek, Headbangers Ball had a contest where one lucky fan would have the opportunity to have Anthrax, Exodus, and Halloween come to their home and redecorate their house. The winner would also win a Jeep Wrangler, some Headbangers Ball gear, and a cool $1,000. Here's the promo clip that MTV ran for the contest.
Halloween, Exodus, and MTV's Headbangers Ball are inviting themselves to your bungalow to tape the wrap-up to the wackiest tour since the Pope.
Hey, your grandmother looks cute.
You'll be a star. Your house will be trashed, but don't worry. We'll give you $1,000 for damn it. And so you can escape in a state of euphoria, throw in a brand new Jeep Wrangler.
Custom painted by Anthrax.
Send a postcard with your name, age, address, and phone number on it to it.
Yeah, and your mother better serve something to town.
The winner was a female fan from New Jersey named Lori Gutman. Here's the clip that MTV ran of the winner meeting the bands.
The winner of MTV's Headbangers Ball Tour Contest. The winner was Lori Gutman. The place, Kinnelon, New Jersey. Nothing will ever be the same.
TV, we're trashing her house.
Use the phone, we do everything we want. Hold on, say hello, Tom. Hey, my girlfriend's gonna see this and kill me.
Thank God I don't win an MTV contest every day.
One of my favorite TV shows growing up in Canada was Married with Children. My parents never subscribed to Fox, unfortunately, so I had to wait until midnight on Friday nights on ITV, which later became Global, to watch the show. But let's face it, guys, if some of you are married and have kids, then you'll know there's some truth to the show. Married with Children premiered on Fox Television back in 1987 and ran for 10 years, making it the longest-running live sitcom on the network. The show was the antithesis to your model American family that was captured on television by programs like The Cosby Show and Growing Pains that came before it. Who would have thought that Bill Cosby was the last guy you should be modeling yourself after? But Married with Children's crude humor caught the attention of the religious right and so-called family values types, some of which tried to boycott the show and pressure advertisers to stop running ads as well. Of course, it failed and only resulted in more people becoming interested in the show. By the late 80s, early 90s, Married with Children was a staple of Fox's weekly schedule, and while the show had a loyal fan base, it didn't garner massive ratings. largely because unlike networks like NBC, ABC, and CBS, Fox was a pretty new network and didn't have the same number of local affiliates who could broadcast the show throughout the country, especially in the show's early days. By the early 90s, though, things would change after Fox got the broadcast rights to the NFL. In 1990, Anthrax released their album Persistence of Time. They spent 2 years on the road supporting the record, playing with Iron Maiden, and as part of the Clash of the Titans tour alongside Slayer, Megadeth, and an up-and-coming Seattle band named Alice in Chains. In the early 90s, a woman named Missy Colazzo, who worked for Anthrax's label Megaforce, used to place weekly phone calls to Fox Television trying to get the band on The Simpsons since they were huge fans. One day, Fox called them back, but it wasn't The Simpsons, but rather a producer from Married with Children. The show was looking to have a metal band on one of their episodes that they were planning on shooting for season 6, and the members, being fans of the program, jumped at the chance, and they already knew the cast of Married with Children since they'd played in a charity softball game together. Anthrax appeared on season 6, episode 18, which was titled My Dinner with Anthrax. It aired on February 23, 1992, and the band spent a week on the set in Hollywood with the Bundys. They'd be learning their lines, they'd do table reads, and they also, of course, filmed the episode. The band shot 2 days with the cast, and the second day saw the writers rewriting some of the band members' lines. But not everything went according to plan, as the members also got in some trouble with the producers of the show, something I'll talk about in a little bit. The premise of the episode revolves around the Bundy's children, Kelly and Bud, tricking their parents, Al and Peg, into taking a vacation for their 20th anniversary because the kids won a TV contest to have Anthrax come over and perform at their house and have dinner with them. The vacation, meanwhile, is a timeshare scam, and shortly after Anthrax arrives at the Bundy's home in Chicago, the city is hit with a snowstorm.
Here's a little game I know that can break the ice at any party. We say our first names, and then the name of an animal that begins with the same letter. Go on. Dan, bite me.
And Al and Peg call their neighbor Marcy to check on the kids.
Oh, I just came by to check on you. Oh, I see you have some killers over. I'm Marcy.
Nice to meet you, sir.
While Anthrax shows up and performs at the Bundy's home, the dinner didn't quite arrive due to the storm, so the members of Anthrax try to raid the Bundy's fridge to only find, well, you know exactly what they're going to find. Nothing appetizing.
Wow. The desolation.
It's not totally empty. There's a chia pet in there.
During the performance, Anthrax caused a great deal of destruction at the Bundy's house. Guitarist Scott Ian revealed that the original script had him really excited as he told Louder Noise Here.
We were there all week. You come in on Monday and you do your first initial read around the table, and of course, you know, the script keeps evolving all week long. And in the initial script, there was a scene where Kelly Bundy was supposed to take my hand and walk me upstairs because we're going to have sex. And I was so excited that, like, oh my God, this is like when all my friends, you know, everyone who watches this show, like in some weird virtual fake TV land, I had sex with like Kelly Bundy. Like, that's awesome. And then like on the Thursday, we do our table read, and that scene's not in there anymore. It's out, and I said to one of the producers, well, where's the part with Kelly taking my hand and walking upstairs? He said, Christina came in and asked if we could take that out. I was like, what? Like, why? And then apparently she said, I know my character's a slut, but she's not that much of a slut. I was like, damn it! I was so bummed.
So you may be wondering, why did the members of Anthrax get in trouble with the show's producers? Well, during their week on the set, the day before rehearsals, they took David Faustino, who plays Bud, out to a Metallica concert and arrived late to the set the following day. The producers took the band to the side, had a chat with the members, asking them not to do it again. The members of Anthrax admitted that the time they spent working on the show was one of the best weeks of their life. MTV's Headbangers Ball even showed up to interview the band members on the set. Anthrax would never appear on The Simpsons, but there is apparently a reference to their name in a 2003 episode where a kid has to spell their name. Our next story takes place in 1997, and if you love baseball, you're going to get a kick out of this one. So Scott Ian, being a New Yorker, has always been a big New York Yankees fan. So in spring of 1997, Ian is in Florida for spring training before the season starts. He was intoxicated, and he tried to break into the New York Yankees camp and steal an on-deck batting circle, carrying the team's logo, hoping to add it to his prized baseball collection. Ian was joined by a 23-year-old friend named Angela Roberts, and they jumped the fence at Legends Field at about 4:30 in the morning. But then they ran into trouble. The pair were caught on security cameras trying to drag the heavy foam mat back to their car to a group of waiting police officers who promptly arrested them. This was what MTV reported back in the day. The network also reported that the pair tried to take a folding cushion chair emblazoned with the Yankees logo. An apologetic Ian also told MTV that he did sprint around the bases, and his attempt to collect a few souvenirs were caused by, as he put it, 24 years of being a Yankees fan plus a bottle and a half of too much red wine. Ian would also add that he was really sorry for what he did, but he did have a good time doing it, and he was hoping for the charges to be dropped. Fast forward now about a month later, and the guitarist calls into the Howard Stern radio show, and also calling in at the same time was Yankees owner George Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner was a good friend of Stern, and Stern had the Yankees owner on to see if he would cut the guitarist a break. During the call, Ian claimed he had never done anything like this before, and he was simply trying to impress a girl. Steinbrenner stated that Ian sounded like a sincere and nice young man, and he would look into those charges and see what he could do. Once the Yankees owner got off the call, Stern talked to the guitarist and brought up the fact that he was married, and Stern asked who this mysterious woman was he was trying to impress. Ian responded that yes, while his wife was back home, him and his wife have an open relationship, and added it was his wife's idea as she brought it up on their wedding anniversary. The charges ended up getting dropped. Then fast forward to 2011, Ian and his band Anthrax were playing a Big Four metal show at Yankee Stadium alongside Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer. Ian gave an interview where he was asked once again about the incident, and he clarified what actually happened that night, stating, "I didn't steal anything. I was accused of trying to. I had broken into Legends Field in Tampa, which is the spring training facility, at 3 in the morning. Basically, I wanted to go look at the Thurman Munson monument and ran around the bases like an idiot. And then when I left, the cops were waiting for me." Ian, for his part, only spent a few hours in jail, paid a small fine, and then of course had to apologize to the Yankees owner. Our next story takes us to 2001. In early September of that year, Anthrax was on tour, but following the events of 9/11, like every other band who was on the road, they were quickly pulled off tour. Then shortly after 9/11, mysterious envelopes containing a white powder known as anthrax started being sent out to powerful government officials, and they were also found at mail sorting facilities. Anthrax, a biological weapon, could result in serious health complications and even death if the spores were inhaled. It created an enormous amount of paranoia at the time, and of course the media ran with it. The press soon turned their attention to the heavy metal band of the same name, with Ian recalling to the Georgia Straight his distrust of the media at the time. "My attitude right from the start was, well, these guys didn't want anything to do with us when our record came out not that long ago, and now they want to talk to us because they need to fill space because this is the story of the week, which is going to disappear in the next 2 months," and of course it did. The media coverage was intense on the band for the next several weeks. Ian added to The Guardian, "It's kind of weird because anytime the word is on the news, anytime I hear it on television, I hope maybe they're talking about the band. People keep coming up to me and saying, 'Hey, wouldn't it be funny if you got Anthrax?' I'm like, 'Oh, that would be hilarious. I will not die an ironic death.'" On October 10th of 2001, the band put their foot down, releasing a statement that read, "In the light of current events, we are changing the name of the band to something more friendly, Basket Full of Puppies." They added, "Actually, just the fact that we are making jokes about our name sucks. In the 20 years we've been known as Anthrax, we never thought the day would come that our name would actually mean what it really means." What's hilarious is that some press outlets, including CNN and The Guardian, took the statement literally and actually thought Anthrax was changing their name to Basket Full of Puppies. Ian recalled on the band's YouTube channel how he was watching CNN one day, and on the ticker at the bottom, he saw a news headline that said that heavy metal band Anthrax was changing their name to Basket Full of Puppies. Of course, not all publicity is bad, as searches for Anthrax resulted in a lot of people stumbling upon the band's website and music. For those who were accidentally directed to the band's website, the group did put a link to the Center for Disease Control, or the CDC's website. Anthrax ended up performing a charity show in late November of 2001 alongside Twisted Sister, Sebastian Bach, Overkill, and Ace Frehley. When Anthrax took to the stage, they wore white jumpsuits with the words, "We're not changing our name." In the audience that night were some of the people who lost loved ones in the 9/11 attacks. According to Billboard magazine, the show raised $90,000 for the New York Police and Fire Widows and Children's Benefit. Ian recalled on the band's YouTube channel looking back at the charity show, stating, "The reaction we got from those people and then being out in the lobby of the venue and talking to all those firemen and policemen and families, mothers, daughters, sons, brothers, fathers of people, to the people saying, 'Don't you change your name for nothing, you are Anthrax.'" That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in Rock Culture Stories. Take care.